Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me speak on the topic for today on a theme called Entrepreneurial Education. Entrepreneurial Education. Why I picked up this particular concept and theme is that most of the academics, most of my faculty members, most of the students are not clear about the concept. And they need to be made aware of what exactly the entrepreneurial education is. They're confused with entrepreneurship education, they're confused with business education, they're confused with management education. Hence, I thought that I should clarify this concept in this video. Entrepreneurial education is nothing but enterprising the education. When education is enterprised, the education becomes entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurial is the adjective which is trying to qualify what kind of education is. Yes, we can have non-enterprising education, we can have idiotic education, we can have sustainable education, which are qualifiers of what kind of education is it. We can have theoretical education, we can have practical education. One of the concepts of education which tries to tell about education is entrepreneurial. It is often misused and often being used without an understanding. Some of the questions which are raised, is it that only few educations can be enterprised and others cannot be enterprised? Is it technical education can only be enterprised? It's only business education can be enterprised? Is it that biology cannot be enterprised? Is it philosophy learning and Sanskrit learning, language learning cannot be enterprised? This is the crux. This is an issue which needs to be understood by the faculty. Hence, this video. As an activist, I feel, this is my experience with which I am talking about, with an experiments which I have done in the last 15 years, I am speaking. Every education can be enterprised. Art, social sciences, technology, business, physical education. It's only conscious act. Actually, what we have education which is non-enterprising is also created by the same academics. भगवान तो थोड़ी भी है भाई. They're all man-made. भगवान भी हमें बनाया था ना. What we have is non-enterprising, which is man-made. Men-made, women-made. It can be made into enterprising. What is enterprising? A lot of people know about the definition of what is enterprising. एकदम उसमें engage होना है, involve होना है, मजा आना है. This is basically the enterprising. But it can be much bigger definition of it, much more an important definition of what is enterprising. Enterprising is all about value creation, value capture. Entrepreneurs are basically value creators. They create value. That's the difference between entrepreneurs and no entrepreneurs. All entrepreneurs worldwide, if you look at, the distinct feature they have is that they create value. They create social value, they create intellectual value, they create economic value. But of course, economic value is more sought after by entrepreneurs. Intellectual value, social value, cultural value is also entrepreneurial. But in contemporary society, what is valued is relatively more valued is economic value. So if an education can create value, economic value, it becomes enterprising. It's quite possible to be done. Let me clarify. Actually, current education, why it is non-enterprising is because, in one hand, it doesn't create a value, but on the other hand, it consumes and it destroys value. Huge value. Crores of rupees value. There's a huge effort, creativity, time, resources, all being consumed in the educational process. They're all getting wasted. They just get drained away. So, rather than looking at an education, creating, enterprising, at least we should arrest non-enterprising part of an education, so that itself is an entrepreneurial education. The value which is lost if it is stopped, that itself is a huge enterprising education. For example, an MBA student of a top institution spends at least 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs. So-called top institutions will charging at least for an year 40 lakhs. So that's value is being so-called invested. I'm not saying that it's not investment, you don't get it back. But it can be recouped, it can be recovered, it can be captured. It can be created out of the whole education.